WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
In the Middle East, on Lisa Brady, Fox News, as Iran reopens the Strait of Hormuz after Israel agreed to a ceasefire with Lebanon, though questions remain.
There is an Iranian military official who's claiming online that Iran perhaps still has some conditions for ships to sail through the Strait of Hormuz, but the International Maritime Organization says that right now it is assessing the strait to make sure that all ships can freely pass.
Fox's Matt Finn in Dubai. President Trump says a U.S. blockade of Iranian ports will continue until there's a deal with Iran, but Iran is still warning that blockade must end. Right now, the Dow up more than 900 points as oil prices plunge. The latest court hearing in Utah for Charlie Kirk's accused killer, Tyler Robinson.
Following numerous motions by the defense, Tyler Robinson back in court in Utah County. His lawyers arguing over a continuance of a preliminary hearing, saying they need more data and time. The prosecution saying justice delayed is justice denied.
That's because it affects the victim's right to a speedy trial. It affects the public's perception of legitimacy of the prosecution and the judicial system, and it has real effects on the evidence that may be presented at trial.
Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica, has asked for a speedy trial. The judge will later decide.
Fox's Jeff Benasso. Robinson's defense also pushing for more restrictions on media access in the courtroom. The Trump administration loses another round in a fight over voting records, with a federal judge ruling the Justice Department cannot force Rhode Island to hand over data.
The DOJ wanted the records to probe the registry for so-called election integrity issues, meaning searching the records for evidence of disqualified persons casting ballots in Rhode Island. Judge Mary McElroy ruled the government had no authority under the law for such a fishing expedition. McElroy was appointed to the federal bench by President Trump during his first term.
Fox's Evan Brown. There have been similar rulings involving states including California, Michigan, and Oregon. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR, traffic and weather first.
We have multiple problems on the area roadways. As we continue your Friday afternoon commute, you'll find an accident that has the two right lanes blocked, 94 westbound before Trumbull Street. That's causing slowdowns back to Shane Street. You'll find a crash on the I-696 westbound on-ramp from Telegraph Road, as well as an accident Joy Road west of Inkster Road. And construction has the right lane closed, 94 westbound between Van Dyke and Shane Street. That's causing backups to Gratiot Avenue. Those repairs scheduled till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A mix of sun and clouds for the day today with a high of 67 degrees. Partly cloudy skies this evening. Thunderstorms developing overnight, low of 53. Showers in the morning for the day on Saturday, then cloudy in the afternoon with a high of 68. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This isn't just your money. It's your life's work, your spouse, your family's future. Don't let hidden taxes chip it away. Protect what you've built. Get your free report at moneytalkstaxbill.com. That's moneytalkstaxbill.com. moneytalkstaxbill.com. And join us for Money Talks with Joseph Uplager, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR.
Traffic alert for Novi. There's construction on Novi Road limiting traffic to southbound only for the next 6 months. It's going to be a challenge, but good news. Local favorites like Guernsey Farms Dairy are still open and ready to serve. Access businesses from the north, and when you leave, just follow the posted detours with southbound traffic. Don't let the construction stop you. Plan ahead, because honestly, a little Guernsey Farms Dairy ice cream might be just what you need to make that road work a whole lot easier to deal with. Support local businesses and drive safe.
That's the Guernsey difference.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-730-7788. 800-730-7788. Again, that's 800-730-7788.
Say hello to another great voice. This is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR.
Hey, let's go on a Friday, April 17th, 2026. Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon, Beth Ann Long, Danielle Mason, Across the Glass. Busy day today, so let's get right to it. A busy day for Congresswoman Haley Stevens.
I got a copy of H.R. 944. Do you know what it is? It's your impeachment article, sir. You have abused your office. You have gutted America's public health, and you have sacrificed our leadership in medical research and innovation. Americans today are less safe under your watch. Children are dying of diseases that we thought we had eradicated. You can smirk, sir, but I answer to the people of Michigan, and they have told me you should be ashamed, you should resign, and if you refuse, Congress should remove you from office. I yield back.
Fired up there, Congresswoman Haley Stevens from the great state of Michigan, joining us now here on 760 WJR. Also, of course, running for the Democratic nomination to be the next United States Senator from this state. Congresswoman, how are you?
Hey, it's nice to connect with you.
Absolutely.
Hard at work out here.
I'm telling you. Tell me a little bit about that interaction with Health and Human Services Secretary RFK. What was the hearing about, and your line of questioning? What were you trying to get across there?
Well, look, it's budget season in Washington, so he's coming up at the request of Congress on behalf of this administration. But we know that Michiganders, the American people, have been shut out, that there has been very little accountability, healthcare cuts, attacks on scientific research, ballooning cases, outbreaks of measles and other diseases that we thought we have come close to eradicating. And so I had to take the 5 minutes that I got for accountability and to showcase that we have to have scientific integrity. We have to follow the scientific method. Instead, we are getting conspiracy theories and a self-serving agenda. It was met with a pompous response, which was deeply frustrating. And people in Michigan need to know who's fighting for them, and that's me. I'm fighting for them every single day because their healthcare, their lives are on the lines due to these conspiracy theories that are running a multi-billion-dollar health agency here in the United States of America. I don't just sit on the Education and Labor Committee. I'm also a former vice chair of the Science Committee. I played a lead role in passing the CHIPS and Science Act. So I know all about the scientific integrity and what that means for Michiganders.
Talking to Congresswoman Haley Stevens. Congresswoman, just the whole process of what happens in Congress. I think to myself, what can actually get solved in a 5-minute conversation? What happens behind closed doors? Do you and the secretary get a chance to talk about this stuff aside from that 5 minutes? Because, whether it's this interaction or any other of these open hearings that we see, it's like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, nothing gets solved. How can we get together and actually solve problems, though? Because, these 5-minute interactions, it's really difficult to get anything done, is it not? I mean, I know that's the process, but.
Yeah, and I appreciate the deep thinking and the probing. Look, as the most effective Democratic lawmaker for Michigan in the Congress, the most effective member of Congress for science and tech issues, I can tell you exactly how things get done. We go through a real process of evaluating bills, of having hearings, of looking at problems and how to solve them, going through an amendment process. But what we have seen this entire administration, and particularly under RFK Jr.'s leadership, has been abuses of power at the expense of Michiganders' health and safety. It is an outrage. Look, RFK Jr. might not have to respond to families who are in tears, who are being pushed to a breaking point because of cuts to clinical trials, to cancer research. He might not have to answer to Michiganders who are working on pediatric cancer research, but I am doing that. And so, of course, I'm going to use, the will and the exercising of our democracy in a congressional hearing to push for accountability. I know exactly what it takes to get bills done. I was there holding the gavel when we passed tips in science in the law through the Science Committee.
Congresswoman, let me ask you about, while we're talking about health and human services in that department, let me ask you about Erica Schwartz, Dr. Erica Schwartz. President Trump nominated the Coast Guard officer to lead the CDC. What do you make of that nomination to lead the Center for Disease Control?
Well, what we've seen is a total disregard for science, a total disregard for generations of vaccine research, of disease research, of epidemiology, firing an entire vaccine panel to put in his handpicked people. That's not working for the people of Michigan. I've got young parents who have newborns and young children, and they are frightened. They are frustrated. I have Republican doctors coming up to me and thanking me for leading the effort to take on the impeachment of RFK Jr. I don't do so lightly, all right? But when I see things that I have been a part of, that I oversee in the Congress and as a defender of Michiganders' health and safety, we can't allow quackery to trump science. If you got questions, if you want better scientific research, then do it with scientific research, not conspiracy theory. And that's what we were getting from RFK Jr. and unfortunately the President of the United States.
Congresswoman, I could talk to you about this stuff all day, but I want to move on to a couple of other things. First and foremost, the news of the day about the Strait of Hormuz opening up. Do you believe a deal with Iran is within reach?
Look, we've seen a total unilateral action by the president, Congress begging to be briefed, begging for information, the people of Michigan feeling hurt, betrayed, frustrated, in terms of the behind the scenes deals that this administration cuts. I'd like to push for transparency. I'd like to see, instead of billionaire tax giveaways, more for our middle class, more for our building trades unions who, I admire so much, who are telling me each and every single day, their healthcare costs only go up. The retirees who are on Social Security, who, maybe get a slight cost of adjustment increase for their Social Security payment, and then that's completely wiped out with rising healthcare costs. The president made very clear. He said, we're in the middle of a war, and we're not going to focus on lowering healthcare costs and expanding Medicaid and protecting Social Security. That is a direct quote from the President of the United States. So how about deals for Michiganders? How about fairness for us as we've just finished tax season? How about more factories open so we have job growth instead of job loss? That's the tragic reality of this time, and it's all at the expense of Donald Trump's sights on taking over other countries, using our tax dollars, and making us pay for it. It's not fair. It's frustrating. I've been standing up to it. I proudly voted for war powers just yesterday. Yet again, you're not going to war without the approval of Congress. You can't be this outside the bounds of the Constitution.
Talking to Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens, also running for the Democratic nomination to replace the retiring Gary Peters for the United States Senate seat. Let me ask you just about the campaign overall. A series of polls came out, and, we can talk about polls until we're, everybody found something in this poll that they could hold on to. There's something for everybody in here. You've been the top spot. You're in the top spot. You're maybe second or third. Everybody's within one. You're first. It's like all up and down the line, but it seems like it's a tight race for the nomination. What do you make of the polls? What does the campaign make of the polls? And I got to ask you about Abdul El Sayed and this decision to campaign with far left political commentator, podcaster Hassan Piker. I believe Senator Slotkins said she's not going to be seen with him. Yourself, Mallory McMorrow, you have not wanted to be associated with him. Can you just talk about your stance as it relates to Piker? Because that really seemed to be a topic of conversation over the last 2 weeks specifically.
Look, I don't know what a stream podcaster has to do with the people of Michigan. I'm hearing from incredible people all over the state. A woman in Flint who's asking me to make sure that she's heard at the lawmaking table, to make sure that she is seen. You know, a building trades worker in West Michigan who's nearing retirement, who's going to make sure that he has enough saved and a pension that he can rely on. You know, a young person that's asked me just yesterday, you know, what about housing affordability? And, you know, these flamethrowers on the internet who said hateful and hurtful things, it's extreme politics. I'm here to get things done for Michiganders. This is why, you know, speaking of polling, the polling shows I've got the magic with independents, that I'm up with the independents. And interestingly, with every poll bouncing around, you know, with 40% who are going to head into the primary undecided at this point, the best thing that every poll shows is that I am the only one, if not the best person, to beat Mike Rogers in the fall, because I have a rapport with the independent voters. I got the receipts for Michigan, and I'm fighting like heck for all of us. So I love being out there. I love engaging in our democracy. This is a Michigan moment, and I'm standing up to meet it, just like I did when I worked for President Obama in the Great Recession on the U.S. Auto Rescue, just like I did when our supply chain was crumbling, and I helped us get industrial policy dollars in through CHIPS and science. Again, Michigan's most effective Democrat. Let's continue to roll up our sleeves and win.
And I love the fact that you come on with us and talk to us about your stance on a number of things. I wish we had more time. I know you have a run. You have to run. You fit us in for availability today. I know you've got more press availability. Thank you very much. I'd love to continue this conversation. You have an open door anytime here, as does anybody running for governor or senator in the state of Michigan. We open our doors to you. Congresswoman, thanks so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Happy to be on. Talk to you soon.
You got it. That's Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens. I'm way over for a break, so I'm going to do that next. 760 WJR.
For many retirees, changes to interest rates could mean your lump sum options will reduce. Choosing between a lump sum and monthly pension options, like all retirement decisions, shouldn't be an emotional decision. It's a math problem. Most people and professionals are doing the wrong math. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturday, 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. A complete retirement plan should guide every major decision in order to maximize efficiency. If you want to retire early, spend more, and reduce your anxiety, join us for our near master's level 8-hour retirement education courses, where we have taught tens of thousands of families with assets between $1 to $20 million. To register for a course or watch updated webinars, visit refedu.org. That's refedu.org. Classes are held at major universities in Michigan and Missouri. $29 tuition goes to charity. Courses are sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by the University of Michigan's Michigan Creative. Support for Michigan Public comes from the University of Michigan's Look to Michigan campaign, working to solve global challenges through developing new technologies to charge EVs 5 times faster and design buildings with 72% less concrete. Learn more at umich.edu/look. Joy Road west of Inkster Road. That accident has cleared. We do have a crash with the two right lanes are blocked. 94 westbound before Trumbull Street, as well as a crash Michigan Avenue westbound east of I-94. You'll find a crash on the I-696 westbound on-ramp from Telegraph Road, and road work has the right lane closed. I-94 westbound between Van Dyke and Shane Street. That's causing backups to Gratiot Avenue. Those repairs scheduled till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Cold front's on the move, and after some mild weather today, tomorrow probably cooling off just a hair. We're going to see much cooler weather by Sunday. Not too bad of an afternoon, seeing a little bit more cloud than sun. 70 tonight. Showers and thunderstorms are going to start rolling in, especially later overnight into the morning hours. Now, there could be some isolated severe weather. The line does weaken as it approaches, however. Tonight, 53. Then with a few showers and early storms tomorrow. In the afternoon, we'll see just showers at a high of 70. Sunday, the cooler air comes in. Sunshine, clouds, maybe a shower, 50. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I love the weekend.
Sure, a couple of days off, relax, hang with the family.
No, getting ready for Monday's JR Morning, all the guests, all the reading.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on, the preparation, getting ready to be live on WJR and WJR.com and the free WJR app. It's a lot of responsibility.
You know, I never thought about it that way, man. I got to get busy. 760 WJR. I want to thank Congresswoman Haley Stevens for giving us time. And again, Beth Ann, we will roll out the red carpet for anybody running. Abdul El Sayed, Mallory McMorrow, Haley Stevens. You've got, please, Mike Rogers we're in contact
They're
with. Trying to, like,
to come
everybody's welcome to him. John James, Perry Johnson. His name escaped me for a second. All of them. Anybody running for political office that is meaningful in the state of Michigan. Well, it's all meaningful, but you know what I mean. 760 WJR. One of the things, while we were talking about the Health and Human Services and everything going on with that, I wanted to bring in my guy, Brandon Lorenz from Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth. Listen, you guys hear me talk about how I've never felt better in my adult life. I have Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth to thank for that. Brandon Lorenz is in studio with me because there's an important news as it relates to peptides earlier this week, over the last couple of days. Brandon, can you just kind of roll out for me that news and how significant this is to help people in their journey to feel better and be their best selves?
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. We're very excited about this. So a couple of days ago, the FDA formally announced that they're going to be meeting in July to review 7 of the 19 peptides that are on this FDA ban list that was instituted about 2 years ago. And why this is significant, they will be reviewing these 7 peptides and hopefully formally releasing them to be compounded and prescribed by, physicians. We're excited about a couple of them that are on there.
We hear about peptides all the time. It is, if you listen to podcasts about health podcasts, if you listen to a bunch of celebrities, everybody seems like they're on a peptide. What is a peptide?
Yeah. At their basic element, they are amino acids linked together. They're the building blocks for protein. They're, they're naturally occurring in our bodies, and there's hundreds of different peptides. There's some popular ones that are out there. 2 that are on this list that are going to be reviewed in July are very well known, BPC 157 and TB 500. They both have very strong anti-inflammatory healing components to them. They heal aches and pains if you're dealing with achy joints. They're fantastic for that. The 2 combined together are often taken. They're called the Wolverine stack, because it has such...
I love the name.
I know.
I love the name, the Wolverine stack. Is that what I'm going on next, by the way?
Yeah, exactly. But all peptides do essentially when you put them into your body is they tells your body, they're like messengers. They tell your body to do something. So, if you're on a GLP-1, it tells your body to, be less hungry and suppress your hunger. And so you lose weight. If you take a Wolverine stack, it goes and tells your body to repair injured cells and help to repair tissue that's damaged. So they have a profound effect on health and wellness. And there's a lot of them out there that are hopefully going to be released by the FDA soon.
So RFK Jr., and again, this is not a political topic. There's nothing political about this, or maybe there is, but RFK is a big proponent of peptides, and that's why they're coming off of the ban list. Is that correct? Am I on the right track here?
100%. He's very open and has been open for years about his peptide use, and he's used it for a number of different ones, and he's been very open about that, about his results that he gets as well. Peptides, I know they're a very hot topic right now, but they've been around for decades, and they've been used by athletes all over the world for decades, and because they have wonderful results, and RFK has used them personally for years.
And that, we talk about my journey. I'm very open about my journey, both on television and here at WJR. I have everybody, you specifically, Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth. By the way, shameless plug, 734-927-1718, 734-927-1718. That's on. I say that because I've never felt better in my adult life. And I truly believe it's because of my work with you and everything that I'm doing there. And I'm moving into a new phase coming up. I lost over 30 pounds. I'm down about 33, 34 pounds, depending upon the day. But we're moving into a new phase next, and it's going to be involving peptides.
Yeah, and appreciate the shout out. We've enjoyed working with you. Every guy that comes through our doors, it's been very gratifying to see the transformation they go through. They not only feel great about themselves, they look great, and it gives a new boost of confidence and just a little more vigor in their life.
What do you think happens now when these peptides come off this list and there's more research? What do you think people are going to be hearing about in the news over the next several weeks or several months? Because this word peptide, this I don't know, you call it a drug, or is that what it is? Or what is it technically? What is the technical term for a peptide?
Right, peptide's a peptide.
Peptide's a peptide. Okay, you're going to hear the word peptide a lot in the news over the course of the next several weeks and several months. So we just want to bring you that information because this is really significant stuff to people's health.
Yeah, and on that note, the most important aspect that's going to come off about this when they get off this ban list, it allows compounding pharmacies to make these peptides. And why that is important, you can find a lot of these very popular peptides right now, like BPC 157 online, but there's a huge difference. Anything you find online right now is being made in a lab. Anything that's made in a lab is very different from being made in a compounding pharmacy. Compounding pharmacies are regulated, they're monitored. Everything that's produced is batch tested for purity. None of that happens in a lab. So it's a little bit of the wild, wild west if you're buying peptides from a company or someone that's not issuing it through a prescription like a licensed doctor.
I got less than a minute left, and I'm not sure this is a fair question in less than a minute, but why were they banned in the first place? Because they have such great success for so many people. Maybe that's going to have to be a conversation for the next topic, but you have a quick thought on that? Is it?
Well, there's a lot of thoughts on it.
Okay. None you can get in the next 30 seconds.
Probably not.
Okay, fair enough. Again, Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth on Ann Arbor Road in Plymouth, 734-927-1718, 734-927-1718, complimentary consultation. Brandon, you're the man. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thanks for having me,
We
Ryan.
appreciate it. All right, coming up next, more news involving the news of the day, which is the Strait of Hormuz is fully open. The markets are skyrocketing. The price of crude oil is down significantly. What's it mean? 760 WJR.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code STATION for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's STATION.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
In the heart of Michigan, voice rings true. Perry Johnson coming, he got word.
America do. Conservative leader, just like the best. No hold bar, he's ready for the test. Quality pitches in, that's his game. Cut to the plate, call out names. Crooked politicians led us astray. Perry's on a mission, he's here to stay. Perry Johnson's rising, gonna take a stand for families and freedom across this land. No income tax saving us that dough. 47, give us room to grow. From field to the city, hear people cheer. With Perry in the lead, yeah, we got nothing to fear.
This message paid for by Perry Johnson for governor, because we must implement the mega audit to eliminate the waste and return the money to the taxpayers.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. Iran says the Strait of Hormuz is now fully reopened to commercial vessels. President Trump says the American blockade, though, on Iranian ships and ports will stay in force until Tehran reaches a deal with the United States, including on its nuclear program. This comes as a 10-day truce between Israel and Lebanon appears to be holding. Oil prices have dropped more than 10% on the news. The American stock market is soaring. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani responding to a series of posts on Truth Social by President Trump from this week, where he wrote that the mayor's policies are destroying New York City. The Democrat says he and President Trump share a love for New York and want to see it succeed.
These differences of opinion, they will continue. They are sincere. And also the thing that we have in common is that we are both New Yorkers. And so when I speak to the president, I always bring it back to the city and what I think will help the city.
America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
WJR Traffic First is sponsored by Paramount Roofing. A new roof doesn't have to wait. With Paramount Roofing, pay no money down and enjoy 5 years at 0% interest. Get your instant free roof quote now at weareroofing.com. Built to last, backed for life for homes and businesses alike. Paramount Roofing, roofing made easy. 696 westbound at Telegraph Road. That accident has cleared, as well as Michigan Avenue westbound east of I-94. That crash is also cleared. We have stop-and-go traffic due to an earlier accident. I-94 westbound between Shane Street and Trumbull Street, and road work has the right lane closed. 94 westbound between Van Dyke and Shane Street. That's causing slowdowns from Connor Street, and those repairs scheduled till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon, high of 67 degrees. Partly cloudy skies as well this evening. Thunderstorms developing late with a low of 53. Cloudy with rain in the afternoon for Saturday and a high of 68. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hey, gang, it's sunny out there today, but you know those rains are coming. They have been here as well. That's why I want to tell you about my friends at Paramount Roofing. And the owner, Eric Reno, I met with him and his team. They showed me how they make the whole process incredibly easy from start to finish. All you need to do to make sure it doesn't rain inside your house is visit weareroofing.com. You're going to get a free instant roof quote. No waiting, no pressure, just real information. You know, April, we start to see what winter and spring has done to our roofs. It is not kind. And what I love about the approach of my friends at Paramount Roofing is everything is built to last and backed for life. If you're worried about timing or budget, don't. Paramount Roofing offers no money down plus 5 years, 0% interest, which makes protecting your home or your business a whole lot more manageable. And they do handle everything. Whether it's your home, your property you manage, commercial, residential, they've got you covered. Spring is here. Yes, sunny today, but those rains are here. Now is the time to check on that roof. Get your instant free roof quote today at weareroofing.com. What are you waiting for? Go there right now. weareroofing.com, Paramount Roofing.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2077.
Need a little extra financial support? DFCU Financial has your back, whether you're growing a business, planning a big purchase, or making a move. Go to dfcufinancial.com. See site for details. Equal housing lender.
Kick back with Lomas Brown and Anthony Bellino. Everything you need to stay in the game on Sports Wrap.
Did everyone overreact to Michigan's portal success?
I wouldn't say overreact. I think it was more just a sign of the times. What I don't think gets enough credit is how they evaluated the players and fit and built a team, not a roster.
Sports Wrap, 6 to 7 p.m. on 760 WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Man, there's so much I want to talk about today, and so much that we have talked about. I am grateful that Congresswoman Haley Stevens joined us. And one of the things she was talking about was RFK and the questioning. She had some doozies today as well. I mean, this back and forth, and I talked about these 5-minute they're no good. These 5-minute open for these hearings that we have. It's all theater, and nothing gets done. Here's one of those moments.
Researchers and medical experts have spent years working to not only understand illnesses, but also prevent them. Your actions restricting these vaccines have a grave impact on our country. And while you have waged war against established medical science, you've also attacked life-saving research on cancer and Alzheimer's. You have implemented measures that have raised costs, kicked families off their insurance, and made it harder to get coverage. You devastated rural hospitals.
You know, it's just, and again, it's why I asked about the process of these hearings, because nothing's getting done in these sessions. You know, everybody gets their 5 minutes, and look, it works on both sides too. Absolutely. But you know, everybody gets their 5 minutes. You can fundraise off of it, but nothing is getting done for the people. And that's why one of the reasons I asked, do you guys get together, behind closed doors and talk about this stuff and try to solve some of this stuff? But if you've got a thought on that, 800-859-0WJR, I do want to get, there's some significant news going on in the country today regarding the war in Iran. First, this morning, the foreign minister of the Islamic Republic of Iran announced on social media that the Strait of Hormuz is declared completely open. The president then followed up here and says Iran announced that the Strait of Hormuz is fully open, and talked about how the blockade will still be remain in full effect for Iranian ports until a deal is 100% complete with Iran. But the markets have jumped. They are still jumping. Oil prices have plummeted. And then this, Axios is reporting a major scoop that the U.S. and Iran are negotiating this 3-page plan to end the war. One element that is being discussed is that the United States would release $20 billion in frozen assets in exchange for Iran to give up their enriched uranium. The president is saying no money will change hand. I mean, he is active on Truth Social today like crazy. And this is where we learn about political interactions. The latest news regarding the war in Iran basically comes from the president's Truth Social page. This is where all the negotiating seemingly takes place. This much is good. He did, by the way, one of the one of the posts that I thought was really interesting regarding all of this, but was in regards to Israel. This was it. The USA will get all nuclear dust created by our B-2 bombers. No money will exchange hands in any way, shape, or form. This deal is in no way subject to Lebanon either, but the USA will separately work with Lebanon and deal with the Hezbollah situation in the appropriate manner. This part is good too. Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer. They are prohibited from doing so by the USA. Enough is enough. So President Trump telling Bibi Netanyahu on Truth Social that Israel is no longer to be bombing Lebanon. Enough is enough. The USA is prohibiting it. So we'll see how this goes in terms of the relationship between President Trump and Bibi Netanyahu. And for anybody, again, that has ever believed that Israel has been pulling the strings on this war, I think you're wrong. The president has been talking about this since 1987. He doesn't listen to anybody. So I don't know why anybody would think he listens to Bibi Netanyahu. I think there is an ally there. I think there is a partnership there. But the president, and over the course of time, doesn't listen to anybody. And I think that's one of the major problems that a lot of people have with this president, is that he listens to himself. But he is saying no more bombing for Israel on Lebanon. And again, good news today. It is great news. There are no bombs in Iran. There are no bombs in Israel. There are no bombs in Lebanon. And talks continue between these countries to come up with a resolution to this war. And if the United States can get a deal with Iran, a true deal with Iran, and a lot of people will talk about the Iran nuclear deal that President Obama had, just go listen to Chuck Schumer in 2015, vote against it, and describe for 4 minutes in length. I played that for you last week. Chuck Schumer himself talked for 4 minutes and outlined why that was such a bad deal for the United States of America, and ultimately voted against it. So if we can get some true peace in the Middle East, the possibilities are endless. And today is a good day. Is it over? No. Will time tell? Yes. We will see in time if this was good or bad. But today, it's good news, and people should take all the good news that you can get. So there you have that. All right, coming up next, I want to talk to Michigan State Police Lieutenant Michael Shaw. There was a situation in Hamtramck that I think has shook me as a parent, and it is every parent's worst nightmare, of a 16-year-old being abducted at a bus stop at gunpoint, sexually assaulted in a car, and thankfully she was recovered. She was saved. And they apprehended the person who did this. And I want to use this topic as a jumping off point for a conversation about ways parents, grandparents, guardians could help prevent something similar like this to happening to your child. So Lieutenant Michael Shaw of the Michigan State Police will join us next. How to keep your kids safe this summer in lieu of what happened in Hamtramck with the abduction there of the 16-year-old. Stay tuned for that. 760 WJR.
Taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
As the sounds, smells, and warmth of spring have finally arrived here in Michigan, so has the threat of those nasty spring storms. Many of us have gotten caught off guard with power outages that storms can leave behind. My friends at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are here to help. There is no company I trust more because I know the family, I know the company, and I know none of their people work on commission. This year, be ready for Mother Nature with a reliable standby generator. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical offers generator installations, maintenance, and repairs. If your generator is not serviced by a certified technician, it will void the manufacturer's warranty. And if you don't receive maintenance after 200 hours of runtime, that can also void your warranty. The technicians at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are Generac certified to keep your generator working. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, they've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit FamilyHeating.com to schedule your free estimate today.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Put the expertise and skill of NECA contractors to work on your commercial, industrial, or public electrical construction project. NECA members like DeCal are powering Michigan's future, project after project, on time and on budget. Learn more at smcneca.org. We have an accident with injuries, Outer Drive after Connet Street. We're experiencing stop-and-go traffic right now due to heavier volumes. I-94 westbound between I-75 and 14th Street. Construction has the left lane closed on the Lodge southbound between Glendale and Webb Street. And we have road work that has the right lane closed, 94 westbound between Van Dyke and Shane Street. That's causing slowdowns from Connor Street. Those repairs scheduled till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Cold front's on the move, and after some mild weather today, tomorrow probably cooling off just a hair. We're going to see much cooler weather by Sunday. Not too bad of an afternoon, seeing a little bit more cloud than sun. 70 tonight. Showers and thunderstorms are going to start rolling in, especially later overnight into the morning hours. Now, there could be some isolated severe weather. The line does weaken as it approaches, however. Tonight, 53. Then with a few showers and early storms tomorrow. In the afternoon, we'll see just showers and a high of 70. Sunday, the cooler air comes in. Sunshine, clouds, maybe a shower, 50. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavid.GetPaid.com. Traffic and weather is sponsored by Femininio Law. Get David, get paid.
After an accident, help shouldn't be on hold. That's why only Femininio Law has the accident response team. We work for you, we meet with doctors, we preserve the evidence. Call 855-65-CRASH or visit GetDavidGetPaid.com.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
760 WJR. You know, there was a story in Hamtramck that just shook me. And if you didn't hear about the story, it is this 16-year-old was abducted at gunpoint, waiting for a bus as she was going to school. She was able to get away. Her friends tracked her on the cell phone, and then they were at a gas station, and she was able to signal to this clerk that she needed help. The police came. They arrested this criminal who served time in prison. The circumstances of this case were incredible, and the details of this particular case notwithstanding, it does serve as a reminder and as a jumping point off for a further conversation about how we keep our kids safe this summer or at any point. And what kind of conversations need to happen with your kids. For more on this, I want to bring in my good friend, in my own head anyway, I think we're friends, Lieutenant Michael Shaw, the Michigan State Police. How you doing, Lieutenant?
I'm doing well. Yes, Ron, we are friends.
Okay, very good. But Lieutenant, this is every parent's worst nightmare, and it keeps me up at night. What can I do to protect my kids? Because we can't be with them 24/7.
Right. So, and it's hard not to say that it makes people feel a little bit better, but stranger abductions are very, very rare. Less than 1% of abductions in the country are from a stranger. So it is rare. But when we do see it in our own neighborhood or in our own community, it doesn't really do us any good, right? I don't care how rare you tell me it is. I just saw it happen, so I get concerned about it. But there are some things that we can do as parents to talk to our kids. And some of it is the same things that we talk to adults about when they go out at night or go to concerts and things like that. And to be suspicious, not worried or super scared, but just suspicious of things that are going around them. And if they see something that just doesn't seem right, it probably isn't. And they need to either contact a parent or a trusted adult.
Lieutenant, one of the things that I do myself, and my kids don't have phones yet. I am considering it for my older daughter, but one of the things that I do is I will walk down the hallway. I will walk inside a building, down the street. Maybe I'm walking the dog, and I'll look at my phone. The distraction of looking at your phone when you're waiting at a bus stop or anything like that. Can you talk about how dangerous that can be when you are not aware of your surroundings? You're so distracted by this darn phone.
Well, and that is a problem with anything, right? So criminals aren't the smartest group of people in the world, and they're looking for the weakest, most easiest target. So they're looking for those people that may be distracted by looking at a phone or, leaving their belongings inside of an unlocked car or things like that. So they're looking for those type of things. So when you are out either walking the dog or, your kids are out playing and things like that, the best thing to do is just to remind them and us as adults is, to be vigilant about your surroundings. Pay attention to what's going on around you. And criminals notice that too. If they can find somebody that's head down, got the earbuds in, not really paying attention to what's going on around them, that's a target for them. Somebody that's alert, looking around, makes eye contact with that person that may be thinking about doing something or committing a crime, that's usually somebody they're going to pass by. It's kind of like having your house. You don't want nothing to happen to your neighbors, but you sure hope that your house is lit up better than your neighbor's house because your house would less likely be a target than your neighbor.
No doubt about it. Let me ask you about just, walking in packs or hanging out in packs. This girl was with friends who were able to call police, signal, track her on her phone. How important is it to, have a buddy system or something like that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the best thing you can do when you're going well. The best thing you do first is, as a parent, is you got to talk to your kids and you got to know where they're at. I mean, we're seeing this with, these teen takeovers and social media and stuff that I never went through. We didn't have cell phones when I was a teenager, and going through that part, we still shared notes and we all got together and we knew what was going on. But we were more connected by landline. So talking to your kids first and letting them know where they are. I always told my kids, and it was probably worse for them growing up than maybe others, but I made sure that my children understood that they did not have any constitutional rights. The Fourth Amendment did not apply to them. The right to remain silent did not apply to them. That they were going to tell me where they were going, what they were doing, and if I wanted to look through their stuff, then I did, and there was no recourse to that whatsoever. So I think that's the most important thing. And then when you send them out, it is important to walk with your friends. I mean, even growing up as a kid in Detroit, we always walked together. We always had friend groups that walked together, and if something came up, unfortunately, I was a kid during the Oakland child killer case, and that kind of changed things for everybody, where you got more walking in a pack and paying attention to your surroundings and things like that. But you also got to make sure that your kids aren't afraid to tell you something, right? If something should happen to them, they have to feel free enough to come up to you and know that you're not going to yell or get mad or something like that, that you're going to listen to what they have to say. And we have to believe them. If they think something happened at school or they want to report something to you as far as something that's going on to school, take them for their word and look into it and find out what's going on.
No doubt about it. It's just it's an incredible reminder to have a conversation with your kids about surroundings and everything like that. Hey, while you mentioned teen takeover, today is Friday. We've seen things the last couple of weekends. Do you have any involvement in that, or is that all Detroit Police Department?
So we do assist our partners in Detroit, our aviation unit. I'm sure everybody's seen the Trooper 2 videos that are out there on social media. That is something that we do work with them, and naturally, if they're asked support for something that they found up, we would also provide, troops on the ground, things like that. So that is something that we would look at. But I think that's also an important thing for kids to know, and talking to their parents as well, is, mom and dad's got to know what's going on. And if there's only a single parent home, then that single parent's got to know what's going on. And they got to know, I didn't not participate in those things because I was afraid of the police. I didn't participate in those things because I was afraid of my dad.
Mom and dad, right.
And I was super afraid of my mom. So that's why I didn't participate in those things. And it's, again, you're not trying to scare your kids into compliance, but they also got to know, hey, I know it's on social media. I know your other friends are going out there, but bad things could happen to that. There's always could be somebody that's in that crowd that has a weapon or is committing some type of crime. And you don't want to ruin your life by just hanging out downtown because it's on social media.
No doubt. Lieutenant, we know the retirement date is coming up. Love to have you in studio before that, and we'll just break everything down. How about that? We'll solve the world's problems.
I've only got a couple of weeks, so
Deal.
We'll have to knock that out and get that done.
Deal. 760 WJR.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code STATION. for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's STATION.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Join 760 WJR and the Inside Outside guys for the Novi Home and Garden Show April 24th through the 26th at the Vibe Credit Union Showplace. Connect with hundreds of local professionals eager to tackle your home improvement and landscaping projects. The Novi Home and Garden Show is the perfect place to update your home, upgrade your curb appeal, and discover the latest products for every project imaginable. 760 WJR wants to send you for free. For your chance to win tickets, text keyword garden to 800-859-0957. More at WJR.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
They may not be on the same page. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. After Iran agreed to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, President Trump said they also agreed to never close it again. A senior Iranian official tells Reuters keeping the strait open has conditions based on a ceasefire with the U.S., which expires next week. The official also says significant differences remain, including on nuclear issues.
We're all wondering, why is President Trump so confident that a deal can be done quickly? Turns out it is not because the United States is ready to unfreeze $20 billion in Iranian money in exchange for them forking over leftover uranium, which is what's laid out in an Axios report about the U.S. offer. Because the president says the USA will get all nuclear dust created by our great B-2 bombers. No money will exchange hands in any way, shape, or form. And the president told us yesterday on the South Lawn he might fly to Pakistan to sign a peace deal if there is one ready.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. The president says a U.S. blockade of Iranian ports will continue until there's a deal. And Israel's prime minister says Israel is not yet finished with Iran-backed Hezbollah, even after President Trump posted that's an issue the U.S. will now work on with Lebanon. A judge in Utah hearing defense arguments for a delay of several months in the case against accused Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson. Defense attorney Richard Novak tells the judge,
victims' right to a speedy trial does not, I'm sorry to use this word in the current environment, but that's the word we use, does not trump, lowercase t, the defendant's constitutional rights.
He argues in part they need more time to review large amounts of evidence. If the judge does not agree, a preliminary hearing is set for next month. The defense also wants more restrictions on media access in the courtroom after previous violations on rules about camera shots of the defendant. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
WJR Traffic First is sponsored by Weingarts. When you think about equipment that's built to last, John Deere is always at the top of the list. You'll find them at Weingarts, where they stand behind what they sell. Visit Weingarts.com to learn more. That's the Weingarts way. We have a couple of crashes on the area roadways right now. Outer Drive after Conard Street and Middle Belt Road at Parkwood Street. Construction has the left lane closed 75 southbound at I-96. You'll find roadwork has the left lane closed in the Lodge southbound between Glendale and Webb Street, and roadwork has the right lane closed 94 westbound between Van Dyke and Shane Street. Those repairs should be wrapping up shortly. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon, high of 67 degrees. Partly cloudy this evening with thunderstorms developing late with a low of 53. Cloudy for the day on Saturday with rain ending in the afternoon, high of 68. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
As the sounds, smells, and warmth of spring have finally arrived here in Michigan, so has the threat of those nasty spring storms. Many of us have gotten caught off guard with power outages that storms can leave behind. My friends at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are here to help. There is no company I trust more because I know the family, I know the company, and I know none of their people work on commission. This year, be ready for Mother Nature with a reliable standby generator. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical offers generator installations, maintenance, and repairs. If your generator is not serviced by a certified technician, it will void the manufacturer's warranty. And if you don't receive maintenance after 200 hours of runtime, that can also void your warranty. The technicians at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are Generac certified to keep your generator working. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, they've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit FamilyHeating.com to schedule your free estimate today.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really worked so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Did you know only 40% of people get to choose when they retire? To reduce fear and to understand if you have what you need to give you what you want in retirement, the charity has learned after teaching tens of thousands of families with assets between $1 to $20 million, you have to educate yourself and prepare now. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour heard here Saturdays 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're retiring within 10 years or already retired, then join us for our retirement education courses held at major universities and colleges in your area. At this course, we'll teach you how and when to take income from which accounts at what age to minimize taxes and reduce the chances of outliving your money. Join us for our 8-hour, almost master's level retirement course to learn how to retire earlier, spend more, and reduce your anxiety. To find a course in your area, go to refedu.org. That's refedu.org. These courses are sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
It's more than news. It's a conversation. This is JR Afternoon on WJR. Here's Ryan Ermanni.
Hour number 2 of the program here on a Friday, a sunny Friday in the city of Detroit, state of Michigan, and beyond. Thanks so much for making us part of your day. Hopefully you're out of work. Hopefully you're heading to do something fun. If you're at home, maybe you're getting some work done. I want to thank you for, again, listening on the radio, 760 WJR. Maybe you're watching us on YouTube. We say hello. I'm waving to you right now if you're watching on YouTube. All you got to do is search 760 WJR. You could subscribe to the show as well. It will not cost you a penny. It'll just make it easier for you to find us when you're looking for us. Far be it from me to go 1 hour and 7 minutes on this radio program and not tell you about the headline for today. I cannot believe it lasted. Strait of Hormuz open, possible deal between Iran and the United States. That's all great. But this is the biggest news of the day. That's right. Top Gun 3, baby. It was announced during CinemaCon in Las Vegas. Jerry Bruckheimer, Michigan's own, will return to the set as producer. Tom Cruise is ready to go. And the success of Top Gun Maverick was eye-opening in 2022. Grossed $1.5 billion worldwide. It's the 5th highest grossing film of all time in domestic box office. And my, oh my, Tom Cruise, Jerry Bruckheimer, they're in. You know what? Ryan Ermanni in as well. So I brought in from the famous Rieger Reviews it on the Paul W. Smith show, which we love. And I hope he doesn't mind us bothering you or stealing you for a segment, Dave. But this is huge news. Beth Ann is excited about it. I know, right, Beth Ann?
I am excited about it.
If you said anything, like, I don't know if I would be, if you said no, I think that would be the end of our relationship.
Oh, wow. Well,
No,
I
I'm
am
kidding.
excited. I think my dad would disown me if I said I wasn't excited about it.
Dave, big news.
This is incredible. I love it. I people who know me, I love everything Tom Cruise does. Everything.
Even the Scientology.
The Scientology, that's take it or leave it.
Where are we going there, Dave?
But as far as his movies are concerned.
There you go.
I mean, who's had more blockbusters than this guy?
And he might be the last great Hollywood actor. Seriously. I think about my kids. Now my son, 8 years old, he's obsessed with movies, so he knows everything about actors and everything like that. But my daughter probably doesn't even know who Tom Cruise is. You name 20 YouTubers and she knows exactly who they are.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe he's the last great Hollywood actor.
I just figure like action hero.
Yeah.
Like the Stallones and the Schwarzeneggers and the Bruce Willises and there's Brad Pitt, I guess. There's Tom Cruise, maybe Jason.
Tom Hanks, obviously, but he doesn't make any more films, really. I mean, not a
Jason
ton.
Statham,
Well, that's not
maybe.
even true, though.
But these blockbusters. Tom Cruise saved Hollywood after COVID. He saved Hollywood. He saved going back to the movies.
Period.
Top Gun Maverick
story.
brought everybody back to the theater.
And probably the last great movie I've seen in the last 10 years at a theater, where you walk out of that theater and you were like, that was awesome.
Yeah. Although F1 was pretty awesome too.
Well, yeah, okay, F1. I didn't see that, but for me, the way I left the theater to see Top Gun Maverick, I cannot recreate that at any other time over the course of the last 10 years.
I would agree.
At least when
I
I go
agree
to
with
the
Ryan.
movie.
I think I saw it like 3 times since in the theaters. It was amazing.
And one of the things about how great that movie was, it was just a movie.
Yes.
There was no like, oh, we gotta be all woke and do nothing. There was nothing about anything. You didn't even know what country they were fighting against.
No.
There was not. It was just us versus them. We didn't even know who them was.
No.
We still don't know who they were fighting.
It was just
a movie.
And as we know, nostalgia sells.
Absolutely.
And for like a
huge.
duplicate movie, that was perfect. I think it
There aren't
really
very
hit.
many sequels that ever live up to the original or beat the original. I can only think of a few, and this one lived up to the original.
Quite possibly better than the first one.
I don't know if I would put it better than the first one, but I would put it on the same level.
Fair.
I can talk for my generation of females. We enjoyed it. The amount of times that movie got played in my college house of 5 girls. Yes.
I love it. Now, what could this storyline be about? Now, they're convinced that they have the story.
Yeah,
like you can't even to have a movie that good like Top Gun Maverick. And a lot of people might, well, it was hokey. It was a repeat of the first, whatever. Fine.
It wasn't a repeat of the first one, though.
It gave fans exactly what they wanted and exceeded those expectations.
100%. This has got to be something like Maverick's Last Ride, something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I feel like it has to wrap up his
if they're able to bring back Glenn Powell, if they're able to bring back Miles Teller, it's probably going to have something to do with.
Don't you want to see Maverick be be happy? Like he has never been happy.
No.
Sure.
His side of the story every single time is just sad.
It is.
Although Maverick ended with him happy.
Can he stay happy?
He got the girl.
That's the thing. Will Jennifer Connelly be back? I don't know.
And that's one of the things we were talking about, Dave. We don't know. In the story that I saw, I think it was in Variety or whatever, the cast has not been confirmed yet.
Yeah.
But Bruckheimer is in, and
they're hoping, and they're also
in.
hoping to bring back Kaczynski, the director. Too.
Yes. Let me ask you because so Val Kilmer's family sold his likeness to an AI company. Would you like to see an AI version of Val Kilmer in this movie?
Well, no, because he passed away.
Oh, he passed away in the movie.
So,
he passed away in the movie. Yes, never mind.
So he would not be
Right. Okay.
obviously,
Yes.
but they may have some
flashbacks
or throwbacks to Iceman.
Maybe. Yeah, it's
I mean,
interesting.
he could be part of it in a way, in the same way that they could have throwbacks to Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
As Goose.
Yeah.
So
you wonder about that. Now I'm not into the I saw the Val Kilmer. I think it's a movie that
the documentary that he did.
No, it's like this new
I didn't,
AI.
I didn't see
it's
the,
like this AI movie with him in it. It's really, I don't want to say eerie, but a little creepy to me.
The Amazon documentary about him, though, is real. It's really good.
I'm not there yet with the AI. With the AI movie actor, real person at all.
I don't.
Yeah.
They did it in like Catching Fire when I was in like middle school. They CGI'd one of the actors who died before the series could end, and I didn't like it. It was uncomfortable.
A lot of it, like also with like Brandon Lee and The Crow. So,
right.
You know.
Hey, it was a brutal way to wrap up the season for the Detroit Red Wings. We'll talk to Red Wings beat writer for the Detroit Free Press, Helene St. James. Red Wings had their availability today. We'll talk to her next. 760 WJR.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. The InventHelp Databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
Spring into a pain-free life at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people like, Kim and me, are happier and healthier since our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to Dr. Saul Kogan. His gentle, relaxing, non-surgical, non-invasive intra-disc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain, or numbness, tingling, or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, there is help. When you mention WJR in April, you'll get a consultation, examination, X-ray or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Want to avoid surgery? Call 586-416-DISC, 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472, 586-416-3472. Mention WJR. Call now.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk.
I'm Vince Colonnese, host of the Vince Podcast. I'm bringing you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories.
In-depth interviews.
We feature news-making interviews with the top guests on the whole planet. And I'll ask the questions you only dream of other interviewers asking.
And a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. You are going to love Vince.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by My Fair Lady at ThumbcoastTheaters.com. Experience live theater at Thumbcoast Theaters in St. Clair. Don't miss the beloved musical My Fair Lady, where an elitist professor bets he can transform a spirited girl from London's lower class into a refined lady in 6 months. Get your tickets at ThumbcoastTheaters.com. Multiple problems on the area roadways here on your Friday afternoon commute. We have a crash outer drive east of Conant Street, as well as an accident US 23 northbound between M59 and Clyde Road. You'll find a crash with injuries Middle Belt Road at Parkwood Street. Construction has the left lane closed 75 southbound at I-96, as well as roadwork has your left lane closed on the Lodge southbound between Glendale Street and Webb Street. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Cold front's on the move, and after some mild weather today, tomorrow probably cooling off just a hair. We're going to see much cooler weather by Sunday. Not too bad of an afternoon, seeing a little bit more cloud than sun. 70 tonight. Showers and thunderstorms are going to start rolling in, especially later overnight into the morning hours. Now, there could be some isolated severe weather. The line does weaken as it approaches, however. Tonight, 53. Then with a few showers and early storms tomorrow. In the afternoon, we'll see just showers at a high of 70. Sunday, the cooler air comes in. Sunshine, clouds, maybe a shower, 50. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on Monday's All Talk, we'll have all the big stories from the weekend, including peace talks in Pakistan to end the war in Iran. The Pistons start their playoff run, and we'll introduce you to this week's All Talk All-Star. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
Really disappointing season for the Detroit Red Wings, specifically March and April. And then that last game against Florida was embarrassing. And I think Todd McClellan, the head coach, said as much. Helene St. James has covered the Detroit Red Wings since 1996. She covered 4 Stanley Cups. She's written books, The Franchise, Detroit Red Wings, On the Clock, Detroit Red Wings, The Big 50, Detroit Red Wings, was down at the availability earlier today. Helene, thanks so much for the time, my friend. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure to be on with you.
So how would you characterize this season in the finish once again in March and April?
Yes, I think without question, this is a much worse look than last year or the year before when, at least in 2024, they made it all the way to the last game and lost out on a tiebreaker. I mean, they don't seem to have learned a lesson. I think that's what's disturbing. I mean, you know, they gave away games in March and there was such inconsistency in their effort, so many flat starts. It just, I think they absolutely need to make some, there has to be roster changes. You can't just come back with much of the same team next season and think there's going to be anything differently. Clearly, the mental toughness just is not there with this group.
You know, I read your columns as one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on, because I'm of the same belief. Something is not working. At some point, it's not Steve Yzerman's problem. At some point, it's not. Well, it is, but at some point, it's not his fault. At some point, it's not the coach. Every coach that comes in, it's not their fault. At some point, the players in the room, they have to bear some responsibility, and something is not working, Helene.
I completely agree. And, you know, I understand people are frustrated with Steve. On Sunday, it'll be 7 years since he took over. I do still think, you know, you have to look at what a terrible product he took over. And it is very hard to find good players in a 32-team league, especially when you don't have any luck in the draft lottery like the Wings had. But there's certainly blame to go around. But the amount of people who I've heard from who want Steve fired, who want Todd fired, you know, and I see nothing about the players. And I mean, these are grown men who are extremely well reimbursed for what they do. Is it not on them to at least come out and show effort, you know, because that's what was lacking so much of the time. They lost at home to Boston in March, and it was right after they had come out with that, probably in my opinion, their last really convincing victory, beating Montreal at home. But they played well. They played hard against Boston. Jeremy Swayman stole that game for the Bruins. You know, that happens. I mean, then you just go, okay, too bad. But like the amount of times, you know, they win in Philly and then they go into New York Rangers, the worst team in the conference, and, you know, do nothing. I mean, they win in Buffalo, in my opinion, partly because Alex Lyon had his worst game of the season, but nonetheless come home the next night and look like they're not remotely interested in what the Flyers want to do. The night of the trade deadline, I mean, Matthew Tkachuk, you know, he could have ordered Chinese food with the amount of time and space he had out there on when he had that hat trick. It was just, you know, it's just like, I mean, honestly, I thought they deserved to be booed at home in that last game at Little Caesars Arena. I mean, they can talk all they want about the outside noise, but the noise came from within the room.
There's no doubt about it. We're talking to Helene St. James, the Detroit Free Press. You know, I have been called a Steve Yzerman apologist for simply pointing out facts that this team, you know, a lot of people will compare what happened with the Detroit Pistons 2 years And, 2 years ago, they lost 68 games. This year, they won 60 games in 2 years. Well, they had the benefit of the number one pick overall as well. The Red Wings, as you said, have never had that draft pick, that lightning in a bottle draft pick. And I do think that has hurt them. Now, there's a lot more things that have hurt this roster, but I think not having a top 3 pick over the course of however many years has impacted how slow this recovery is. Do you believe that as well, Helene?
Oh, without question. I mean, try putting Matthew Schaefer or Macklin Celebrini or Connor Bedard in this lineup, and tell me it's not going to look significantly better team. Even going back to 2020 when they were, the only merciful thing the pandemic did was put that team out of its misery. It was
right.
A terrible team, but they finished something like 17 points below the next worst team and were pushed back to pick fourth. Had they even gotten to pick third, and mind you, the NHL changed the draft lottery rules after that because what a bad situation that was. But had they even been able to pick third, they would have picked Tim Stützle as a center. They would have had that second line center that they've been searching for 10 years and have just never really found, somebody who truly looks like he belongs there. So absolutely, and then, I mean, before Steve came in, the 15, 16, and 18 draft, all those first round picks were complete busts. That does really set a franchise back. But even after Steve came in, the draft lottery has been so unkind to the Wings, and it does matter. And then the fact is, again, going back to their 32 teams, free agency, I mean, you don't see many good players make it that far anymore because teams are so desperate to keep what good players there are, that they sign them. And if they don't, you see what happened last summer, Mitch Marner going to Vegas before even hitting free agency. I mean, it's just, relying on free agency, it's really, really tough to do to improve your team that way.
Helene, is there anybody off limits in terms of making a bold move this offseason? I have even suggested I think you really got to take a look at Dylan Larkin and see if maybe that's a move that could be made to help the Red Wings get good quickly. I mean, I'm not the general manager, but is that something that should be considered?
As far as off limits, I think I would stow away Moritz Seider and Alex DeBrincat and, maybe see what comes in for all the rest of them. It's tough with Dylan Larkin because, I know the argument that he wouldn't be a number one center on, the Oilers or some other teams, but is he, are there 32 centers in the league that are better than him? I don't think so. So the center position may be even tougher to fill than defense, and defense, right shot defensemen are hard to come by. So, and I'll say this, I mean, Dylan Larkin cares a ton, and he was playing hurt down the stretch and still gave it as much as he could. I think so.
So
if you
no.
trade him,
No.
I mean, because who are you replacing?
Right.
Him with,
Yeah. Exactly. I think Helene, I'm just so frustrated. I'm ready to take a look at everybody. But that's why we have experts such as yourself to set me straight once in a while. I appreciate Helene. I really appreciate your time. I know you're busy today, and for everybody out there that want to need a memory lane, go down memory lane. Look at how great this franchise is. The book, The Franchise, Detroit Red Wings, On the Clock, Detroit Red Wings, and the Big 50 Detroit Red Wings. Pick one up. Helene, we appreciate it. You're one of the greats. We really thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You got
Thank
it.
you. Anytime.
You got it. She is, in my opinion, the best Red Wings reporter out there. She's dialed in, and we certainly appreciate her time here on a busy Detroit Red Wings day. We're going to take a break. Come right back. Don't go anywhere. 760 WJR.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Did you know Weingarts offers at-home maintenance on tractors, zero-turn riders, and lawnmowers? No need to load up your machine or wait in line. They come to you and perform annual maintenance that your machine needs to keep it running like new. Visit Weingarts.com and schedule your at-home maintenance today.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Awareness is a start, but acceptance creates change. This April, join fellow Michiganders for Autism Acceptance Month. Help build a world where everyone truly belongs. Take the next step at autism-mi.org. Accept, include, support.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. Iran announcing the Strait of Hormuz is open. Commercial vessels can once again travel through the busy waterway. Fox's Matt Finn is in Dubai.
The International Maritime Organization says that right now it is assessing the strait to make sure that all ships can freely pass. And President Trump posted a short while ago that the Strait of Hormuz is completely open and ready for business and full passage.
Global oil prices plummeting following the announcement. U.S. stocks soaring. A U.S. naval blockade remains in place for Iranian ports as the Trump administration pressures Iran for a permanent ceasefire deal. The Senate voting to pass a short-term renewal of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act.
The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The bill is...
FISA allows government agencies to collect data and overseas communications without a warrant. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by Paramount Roofing. Looking for a roofing company you can trust? Paramount Roofing delivers a 5-star roofing experience made easy. Get your instant free roof quote at weareroofing.com. Built to last, back for life with no money down and 5 years, 0% interest. Residential and commercial roofing, Paramount Roofing. We have multiple problems on the area roadways. You'll find a crash with injuries Outer Drive east of Conant Street, as well as an accident US 23 northbound between M59 and Clyde Road. You'll find a wreck with injuries Middle Belt Road at Parkwood Street. Construction has the left lane closed. I-75 southbound at I-96, and roadwork has your left lane closed on the Lodge southbound between Glendale Street and Webb Street. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon. High of 67 degrees. Partly cloudy this evening. Thunderstorms developing late. Low of 53. Cloudy skies for the day on Saturday with rain ending in the afternoon. High of 68. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Life is beautiful and fragile. We fall. We get tired.
eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Catch up with Dave Llewellyn on his podcast, now available on WJR.com.
Pamela Good, co-founder of Beyond Basics, Literacy. How big a problem is it?
There are a lot of things that have snuck up on us. And one of those is when the universities decided to do away with phonics.
Mm-hmm.
And when they did that, they really took out the foundational components of that. You know, most people believe that America's foundation of education is still reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Supposed to be, right?
It is now whole language, no cursive, and new math.
The Dave Llewellyn Podcast. Go to WJR.com/Llewellyn. That's WJR.com/LEW Llewellyn.
Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
So as we head into the weekend here, the market is going to close in about 25 minutes from now. Great news today regarding the war in Iran. It appears as if the two sides are talking, multiple different sides are talking between the United States, Iran, Israel, Lebanon. All of the countries are coming together to try to solve this war in Iran. And you've got the conflict with Israel and Hezbollah, Israel and Lebanon. We are getting positive news regarding that, and the markets are indicating that as well. The market's up near 2% today. That is good news. Crude oil is down about 11% today. That is good news. There are no bombs flying in Iran, Israel, Lebanon. That is good news. Will that news hold throughout the weekend? We hope. Iran and the United States both said today that the Strait of Hormuz is fully open. That's a really big part of this. And I will take all the good news that I can get regarding this war, Operation Epic Fury. We'll see. Again, time will tell. There are no guarantees when you're dealing with Iran. None. But again, a positive step moving forward, and we will keep an eye on the markets as we get closer to 4 o'clock, up now about 865 points, near 2% on the day. And again, we are approaching 50,000 on the Dow as well, kind of where we were prior to the war in Iran. The S&P 500 record high, NASDAQ near record high. So every loss that was the negatives over the course of the last 7 weeks, it appears we are close to getting back to those gains and even beyond. So we'll keep an eye on that. One of the stories I wanted to do today was in regards to this viral video getting a lot of attention online, and it is in regards to, Beth Ann, I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but the Mariners reporter, a Seattle Mariners reporter who was filmed, which, by the way, I think this is a topic in and of itself. A Mariners reporter was filmed asking her phone on ChatGPT, I think it was a Google Gemini ask, asking for tough questions after a bad loss. And a lot of people are dragging this reporter for using AI. In particular, this specific good questions after a tough loss in baseball. That's what she was asking. Basically asking artificial intelligence to come up with questions for her to interview the manager or interview players after this loss. She is getting dragged online. Now, this reporter in particular, Angie Mentink is her name. She used to be at Fox Sports Detroit many, many moons ago, now out in Seattle. She recently has had significant health problems. She had a stroke. So I don't want to dig into her and this instance in particular. What I do want to ask is it okay for people, one, to film other people and what they're doing on their phone? And we've seen a number of different instances that happens. That's why I have a privacy screen on my phone. I could be doing, I don't know, looking at my banking information, paying bills online, my kids' pictures. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's why I have a privacy screen on my phone. That's one. Number two, is it okay to use AI in this context? Interview questions. What do you think, Beth Ann? I'll give you the first crack at this.
Okay, well, first when it goes to the, like, recording other people, I think that's just so wrong. I hate seeing things, especially like that, like, she's doing her job, like, we're at a sporting event.
I agree.
Like, I guess that's just, like, the way the world is now. AI for questions, coming from, like, a journalist who's, like, 2 years out of school, like, I find it very I'm hit or miss with it. When
I
it comes
understand.
to things like that, I think it's fine in some circumstances, especially after, like, if it's a loss after a game. Some players really don't open up.
Yeah.
Like, some players don't wanna talk, so maybe she just needed help on, like, questions that, like, may get something out of a player. So I don't have a problem with it. I guess it just also depends on the circumstance of what that interview is,
And
in
I
my
don't have a
opinion.
problem with it either.
No.
And I'll tell you why. I don't particularly go down that road like, hey, give me the questions to
Yeah,
interview.
like, I would not do it
Like,
that
I don't
direct.
do that. But what I have done over the course of technology improvements is say, hey, is there a better way to say this?
Yes.
Am I thinking along the right terms? Maybe is there another word I could say instead of this?
Yes,
Is
I've
there
done that many times.
is there a softer way to say X, Y, and Z? And if you are not using technology to your benefit, shame on you.
Oh, I agree.
I would say that for all the people, you use Google, right? You use Google. You want to do some research on something. Dr. Google is out there. But I think we're just getting into a space now where we're trying to decide whether something is authentic or not. And look, you know that right away, I think, especially in an interview. Is this person being authentic or not? Is she reading off of some script? I think you know exactly when somebody is reading off a script and when somebody is talking to you. And I think now, and I said I don't want to talk about this particular instance because of the health problems, but Angie Mentink has been doing this for a really long time. She's a really good reporter. And the amount of time she has walked into a clubhouse after a million losses and asked questions, it can get pretty stale after a while. So if there was a way to improve or get her to think about something in different terms, I think you are just using AI to aid you in your job. And I feel bad that she's getting dragged online for it. And for somebody to just record you is such a violation. I think when somebody looks at your phone even, looks over your shoulder to say, hey, what are you looking at? That's kind of like walking down the street and looking into somebody's house to see what they're watching on TV.
Exactly.
I think it's such an invasion of privacy. But that story's out there. And I think that's also artificial intelligence might be the one thing that brings social media down just a couple of ticks. If you don't know if you're watching something is real or AI generated, I think that's something that people might be a little, I don't want to see a bunch of fake stuff. But artificial intelligence is here to stay. It is a tool that people can use to help them be better at their jobs, whether it's crafting emails, rewording things. Now, asking for questions, I think that's a bridge too far for me. But I think there are different uses that you can have to help you certainly improve your job. How about that? Did we solve the world's problems there or what?
I think we did.
We're going to continue solving problems with our good friend Steve Courtney. We're going to do that next. The Tigers with an incredible comeback win last night. We'll get Steve's take on the Red Wings as well. You heard Helene St. James, Red Wings writer for the Detroit Free Press, talk about how this is not on Steve Yzerman and this is on the players. At some point, it's about the players. And Pistons, baby. Game 1 of the NBA playoffs is at LCA on Sunday at 6:30. I'll be in the building for that. I'm looking forward to that. And we're looking forward to a sports conversation with Steve Courtney. It's all coming up Enjoy the day, ladies and gentlemen. Are you out and about right now? Come on. Friday afternoon, city of Detroit. High atop the Fisher Building here, the Golden Tower. Let's go. 760 WJR.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Probate is bad. It's slow, it's expensive, and it's completely public. But the good news is you can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. A revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and protect your family from the delays and costs that come with it. At Estate Planning Legal Services, their attorneys walk you through every step. They'll help retitle your assets at no charge. And if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life. With more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and stress-free. Get the peace of mind you deserve. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation and learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. 248-435-0400 or go to eplspc.com, 248-435-0400.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
We have multiple problems on the area roadways here on your Friday afternoon commute. We have an accident on the Southfield Freeway northbound at Michigan Avenue, as well as a crash with injuries. Outer Drive east of Connet Street, an accident you'll find on US 23 northbound between M59 and Clyde Road. You'll find a wreck blocks your left lane on the Southfield Freeway northbound at 8 Mile Road. And we also have a crash with injuries on Middle Belt Road at Parkwood Street. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Cold front's on the move, and after some mild weather today, tomorrow probably cooling off just a hair. We're going to see much cooler weather by Sunday. Not too bad of an afternoon, seeing a little bit more cloud than sun. 70 tonight. Showers and thunderstorms are going to start rolling in, especially later overnight into the morning hours. Now, there could be some isolated severe weather. The line does weaken as it approaches, however. Tonight, 53. Then with a few showers and early storms tomorrow. In the afternoon, we'll see just showers at a high of 70. Sunday, the cooler air comes in. Sunshine, clouds, maybe a shower, 50. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's Autolaw.com.
Well, I know we're not out of April yet, but it was one of the craziest Tigers games of the season. That goes without saying. Steve Courtney, my guy. How you doing, buddy?
All I know, Ryan, it's a Friday.
Oh, and it's a gorgeous one, isn't it, bud?
Turned out to be absolutely beautiful, sir. And
I'm surprised you're not playing golf. I really am.
Well, you know what? If I didn't have to play with a snorkel and fins,
the course is underwater.
Yeah, courses are a little bit moist. But anyway, yeah, about that Tiger game. How
Steve,
about that? As they say, Ryan, good things come to those who wait.
I got to
okay?
say, we were in studio yesterday. It's 6-1. I didn't even turn it. I was, they won. I didn't even see it after that. I got the alert.
Yeah, it was a magical performance. The start pushed back 65 minutes because of the stupid rain. And then there was another delay, 46 minutes in the seventh. And yeah, the Tigers up 6-1, looking very comfortable. Then Salvador Perez, who I think broke into the bigs in like 1956, he drove in 4 runs for the Royals, including that 3-run shot to cap off that 6-run seventh. Next thing you know, the Royals are up 8-6, and you're thinking, well, you know what? You take 2 or 3, whatever. Then Riley Green says, forget about it. He doubled home 2 runs to tie the score with 2 outs in the ninth. And how about Colt Keith? He followed with the walk-off single as the streaking Tigers get past the Royals 10-9. They have now won 6 in a row. These are the kind of wins as the season unfolds, Ryan, that you really do look back on, don't you?
Absolutely. And you look, Jim Leland used to say momentum is only as good as the next day's starting pitcher. But at the same time, you can't help. These are chemistry building wins as well. When you do all that jumping up and down, walking off, and Riley Green hugging Colt Keith and Colt Keith hugging Kevin McGonigal and everybody getting together, that brings so much joy to a clubhouse, and I do believe you build upon that throughout the season. That kind of stuff is immeasurable to me.
Well, it was rather huge because now the Tigers back where they need to be, over 500 at 10-9. So that being said, Casey Mize will get the ball tonight. He's 1-1, 3.94 is his ERA. The Tigers open up a 4-game series at Fenway Park against those Red Sox. Ranger Suarez will get the ball for Boston. He's a lefty. He's 1-1, ERA slightly elevated early, 5.02, 7:15 first pitch. By the way, if you don't have Apple TV, you won't be able to watch. Okay, I'm just telling you.
If you don't have Apple TV, you're out of luck. I hate that, by the way.
The Red
How many
Sox,
subscriptions do you want people to have?
Well, I mean, it's getting out of hand. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people have voiced their opinion, Ryan, those who don't have Peacock, those who don't have Apple, those who don't have Amazon, those, you know, but this is the way sports television is going, sadly. And I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. The Red Sox, by the way, off to a slow start, 7-11. They are in a tie for last in the American League East with the Toronto Blue Jays. I know it's early, but I'm just saying. Meanwhile, your Detroit Pistons will finally find out exactly who it is they're going to play when they open the postseason Sunday evening at LCA. You've got the Hornets and Magic getting together tonight in Orlando. The winner will become the 8th seed and will be the Pistons' first-round opponent. Now, don't know if you had a chance to hear the conversation we had with head coach J.B. Bickerstaff on the Mitch Albom show yesterday.
I missed it.
Well, you know
How
what?
could I miss it?
He gave a very diplomatic answer. You know, he doesn't care, nor does the team care who advances, Charlotte or the Magic. The Pistons did pretty well against both clubs during the regular season. They swept the Hornets 3-0. Then they won the season series with the Orlando Magic 2-1. Now, I wanted to talk to you about this because, you know, we know where the Pistons were just a couple of short years ago. For the third time in franchise history, they registered 60 wins in the regular season. But that being said, despite clinching the number 1 seed with a 4-game lead over the Celtics, the Pistons, in the eyes of the bettors, not the favorite. The sports books favor the Celtics, the fourth-seeded Cavaliers, and ranked third-season New York, the Knickerbockers, as roughly equal. The Pistons swept the Celtics and Knicks during the regular season, tied the Cavaliers 2 games apiece. So is that just out-and-out disrespect?
You know what? I can understand it. Maybe people believe Cade Cunningham isn't fully 100%. Maybe people believe this team isn't as experienced as they need to be. Maybe they want to see him win a series before they go. I like that, actually, for the team itself, to where nobody's paying attention to them. They're the 4th best team, essentially, when it comes to the odds makers, and we expect these teams to be. I think that can work in their favor, actually, Steve. I'm good with it.
Well, you know what? The thing about this Pistons team, and as I said earlier today, sometimes, Ryan, the term chemistry is just used way out of proportion. But you're talking about a team in the Pistons that truly enjoy playing with each other. And you can just kind of sense that. They closed the regular season winning 15 of 19. A lot of that without Cade, a lot of that without Isaiah Stewart. And the next man up theory certainly came into play. And this team is not really affected by anything. And when we get to the postseason, I think that's absolutely critical.
Steve, what do you think? I don't want to say any. Look, if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, that's a disappointing season. Sure. That would be it. But is there anything outside? Like, what would you characterize as a successful season at this point? Because for me, I believe the way they've gone, essentially the whole way being in first place, the top team of the East, anything less than an Eastern Conference Finals appearance, I think would be really disappointing. I need to see. I don't need anything. I want to see 2 series wins.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I think the team would agree with that based on what we witnessed in the regular season. I think this team mentally, which is very important, is built for the long haul.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you. I mean, there is expectation.
Without question, my friend. Steve-O, appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend.
You guys enjoy. Ryan, you and yours have a great weekend. Look forward to our chats come Monday.
You as well, my friend. Enjoy the weekend yourself. Hopefully you get to kick your feet up and sit back a little bit. Maybe have a couple of cold brews. Why not? Huh?
All I'm going to tell you, if you're a bottle of Miller Lite, I'd be very nervous.
Be afraid. Be very afraid. Steve-O, we love you. Thanks, buddy.
See you, Ryan.
See you Monday. Hey, I want to thank Beth Ann Long, Danielle Mason. These two are incredible teammates to have here on 760 WJ. I want to thank Jason Fissler, the fearless, the amazing Ann Thomas as well. Dave Rieger joined us this week. My guy, Steve Finateri, out and about there. What a crew we have here. But I want to thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody. I love everybody. The Mitch Albom Show next on 760 WJR.